Coming up on the Empowered Woman podcast.
There's a difference between being a speaker and being a thought leader. They give people a new way to think. When somebody leaves their presentation, they don't just remember a story or a tip. They leave seeing a familiar problem through a completely different lens.
Welcome to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on visibility strategies for women entrepreneurs. If you want to get empowered to be seen, stand out on social media, stages, TV, and more to make an impact with your voice and business, you're in the right place. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Marcia Spurk, and I'm your host, professional singer and visibility strategist. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode.
Burnout doesn't just exhaust you. It silently erodes your most important relationships. Aurora Method Coaching helps high-achieving women uncover the root beliefs driving their relationship conflicts and burnout and move from emotional reactivity to calm, clarity, and confidence. Ready to restore connection? Book your free consultation at meetwithtracy.coach.
Hi, everyone. I am trying something new. In between my guest interviews, I will be sharing short solo episodes, just a few minutes each, where I unpack one idea about communication, speaking, visibility, and thought leadership that I hope gets you thinking a little differently. Think of these as stage thoughts, quick reflections inspired by conversations with clients, speaking experiences, and ideas I've been exploring. So let's dive in for this very first edition of Stage Thoughts. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to become the name everyone mentions in their industry? When a topic comes up, somebody immediately says, "Oh, you have to talk to her." It's interesting because those people aren't always the most experienced, they're not always the most charismatic speaker, and they don't necessarily post the most content. So what makes the difference? I really think it comes down to this. There's a difference between being a speaker and being a thought leader. Now, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a speaker. Speakers educate, they inspire, they share valuable information, they help people learn something new. But thought leaders do something different. They give people a new way to think. When somebody leaves their presentation, they don't just remember a story or a tip. They leave seeing a familiar problem through a completely different lens. That's what makes ideas spread. Think about the people you quote most often. It's probably not because they gave you a list of steps. It's because they articulated something in a way that made you think, wow, I've never looked at it like this before. That's why I encourage entrepreneurs to spend less time asking, what should I talk about? And more time asking, what do I believe that most people in my industry overlook? For example, in my own work, I don't just teach people how to become better speakers. I really believe speaking is one of the most underutilized business development tools available to entrepreneurs. That's a completely different conversation. It changes the goal from giving a great presentation to building a business through speaking.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Would you like to be my next guest on the Empowered Woman podcast? Do you have a story you'd like to share? Want more visibility for your business on a show ranked in the top 0.5% in the world? Well, then head on over to martaspurk.com/podcast guest for more information.
That single perspective influences everything I teach, from how you structure your talk to how you follow up afterward. Your point of view is what ties all of your content together. It's what makes people begin to associate your name with a specific idea. And here's the good news. You don't need a groundbreaking idea that no one has ever thought of before. You just need the courage to consistently share your perspective. Because over time, people will stop remembering individual posts or presentations. They will remember what you stand for. So here's a question I want to leave you with today. If someone introduced you to a colleague tomorrow, what idea would you want them to associate with your name? Not just what you do, not your job title, credentials. What's the belief you want to become known for? Because that might just be the difference between being someone who speaks and becoming someone whose ideas continue speaking long after you've left the stage or the room. So if today's episode has you thinking about your own message, your signature talk, or how to become known for what you do, I would love to help. I offer speaker clarity calls where we'll look at where you are today, where you want to speaking to take your business, and what might be holding you back from becoming the go-to expert in your space. You can book one through the link in the show notes. And I so appreciate you for listening. If you enjoyed this new Stage Thoughts format, please let me know. Share it with me on social media, connect with me on Instagram or on LinkedIn because I have plenty more ideas to share. Remember, your business is your stage. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this episode empowered you. And if you enjoyed the show, please join the Empowered Woman community on Facebook and share with friends or leave a review on iTunes so more people can discover this empowering message. Until next time, bye.